All right. Now on the back side, you want to connect your brake booster. You want to plug this one since we're no longer using the ABS. That's what that line went to. Then you want to connect your water line there. This top one goes to there, so I got to get a new hose, no big deal. Then we have our cheapo, super El Cheapo turbo that we're going to clock it to make sure it's facing the right way. And we're just gonna take this off. There we go. And we're gonna lay it down. You take these screws out first. Oh, that looks so good. But we gotta clock it. So basically you loosen all of these bolts, including these back here. Then you can slide everything into position. All right, there we go. I think I'm gonna have to move the wastegate because, take this off for a second. Alrighty. Alrighty. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go this route. Yeah, that's the sweet spot. I think I'm gonna do that. Then this comes up to here. Oh yeah, that's perfect. All right, so now we're gonna do like this, and all right, excellent. That's a keeper. Let me tighten these bolts down to hold my position, and she will be good to go. Okay, so perfect. Now we're gonna take this off because we're not ready. We're waiting for one more piece to come in the mail. Hold on, I need two hands. Alrighty. And now we're gonna go over to our spare motor and borrow a couple of things. So I got a new cap and everything, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna borrow the screws off of this. I'm gonna need the feed line off of the turbo. And I believe that should be it from this motor for now. So let's pop those out. Okay, now for the cap and rotor. All right, here's the rotor. It only goes on one way. So, when you push it on like so, you tighten it down, and you're good to go. You see it has a small opening and a big opening, so you can never get that wrong. And as for the cap, you want this nugget to be at top dead center. And as you see, the firing order is 1, 3, 4, 2. right, goes on perfectly like that. And we tighten it down. Like so. And it is starting to look like a car. There we go. All right, that's excellent. Next, we're gonna pop on the wires and slide those in, and that'll be done. And all connected. 1, 3, 4, 2 is your firing order. And you connect it accordingly, 1 being closest to the front, 4 being to the rear. Next, okay, so I'm gonna situate the oil feed, which this part is going to be the feed. I'm gonna take this return line off and get a new hose. So that'll be straight. So we're gonna move this up. Twist this in. Alrighty. Of course, it's gonna be tighter than that, but I'm gonna get the initial twist out of the way. Alrighty. Alright. So the feed line is done. Next, we're gonna add in a fuel pressure regulator. So this is the stock return line. So if you look at it, the red one goes to the return. The black one here goes to this part. So I have to get new hoses and new clamps because these spring-loaded clamps are definitely outdated. So I definitely highly recommend changing that. And yeah, we're gonna add that in, and I'm thinking about putting the fuel pressure regulator somewhere in this area. A little bit lower, but somewhere in this area. And yeah, that should be good. So let's head to the store, get these parts, and be good to go. And if you don't have that fitting, you can always buy this kit, and that's the fitting for the oil feed line, and then you can put any line at the top of that. Little hack. Okay, so you're gonna remove your factory line from there, and you're going to increase size to 3/8. And for clamps, you're gonna use these bad boys. We're gonna do that, and of course we're gonna cut this hose to size, and we will have the bottom and the top set up and ready. So hang tight. All right, all done with the lines for the fuel return. And as you can see here, we have the fuel feed. So we're gonna connect that. All right, make sure I don't drop these. All right, so we're gonna connect this, and I have to order the fuel filter, so stand by for that one. I definitely won't forget because it's rusty as crap. So, got the trilogies on lock. 80% of these vacuum lines are gonna get capped. So what we're gonna do is we're going to use this one for the distributor, which should receive boost only, which is good, so it won't advance too far and give you knock. It'll just retard and handle the boost. This high vacuum line here is the one I'm gonna jump onto for the fuel pressure regulator, the blow-off valve, which isn't on here yet, and maybe a couple of other things. We're gonna tee it off and it should be good. But right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run a vacuum line from here to there, and I'm gonna pop the T-pipe on. I definitely think it was a good pick of turbo, because that looks awfully familiar. Well, I know it's going to work way better with the bigger guts. Looks pretty much like an updated version. No water cooling, which is great. No extra mess. And oil only. Not bad. So anyway, this one is clocked and it's ready to go in. I have to figure out a C-clip for this. It was nice how they did not supply me with one. And that should be it. I gotta get the studs, which I can get that from Ace Hardware. And I'm missing the threaded fitting for this. For the return, I got the feed bolted on and ready to go. And I'm waiting for the downpipe V-band clamp. I have that coming in the mail. Thinking about firing it up without it if it doesn't come in time. Actually, we'll have plenty of time. And then intake, sky's the limit. It's 3-inch, so that's not going to be a hassle at all. And this should push some interesting numbers. Okay, so it's the next day. I received the fitting late last night, so I think this thing is ready to be bolted in. So I have the rest of the screws for that. So let me grab that and we're gonna mount this bad boy on there. Let me get the gasket and stuff and hook everything up. All right, she is in her new home. This is how she's gonna look. And it's funny, if this wasn't V-band, you could have sworn that this will fit. Oh yeah, look at that, it'll fit right up. Yeah, but you get the point. It looks pretty good. My range from, and I need to do something about this. This looks horrible, but yeah. So the range from intercooler piping and intake can go right down here. I can move this probably down somewhere else. Of course, replacing the petrified lines, but I always think it's a good idea to move this out of the way. Just to make things a little simpler, but not necessarily needed in this application, which is awesome. So I might just hang that back over here and everything should be good. Yeah, I think I'll do that on this application, but when I swap over to the aftermarket manifold, I'm gonna remove the power steering from here, with new lines and probably put it right here, just like in my silver one. But yeah, that's looking good. Let's connect up some more. So we got this line, which wants to go right like that. This looks great. Let me get a tool on that. And yeah, that's looking good. Then the return line will go out into this area over here. That should fit no problem. If anything, I have to move the line around just a smidge, but nothing too crazy. But yep, she's home. And those of you who are wondering what kind of turbocharger, I know it's upside down, but let's see if we can. There we go. Part number, everything. All right. Continuing the vacuum line saga. So the vacuum line that comes from here for the air conditioning goes all the way around and is dangling right here. So in the T, we're gonna add fuel pressure regulator, this one, all right? And then we're gonna add a vacuum from the distributor to the throttle body. And that should be good. Alrighty, so gonna get a general idea of how long this is. Alright, so we're gonna plug this in here. Alright, perfect. Get a little bit of slack, but don't want to be wasteful. Alrighty, so we need to cut right there. Right, and we're gonna plug this in right there, right? And once all this stuff is plugged in, you just want to zip tie each end just to make sure there's no vacuum leaks. All right, we're gonna take our factory T and we're gonna tee off. Alrighty, so we're gonna cut again right around this area. Take our T. Put it on like so. Same deal here. All right, and as you can see, that's ready. To accept the vacuum line from here, then that's it for that part. All right, so that is connected, and let's see what we got next. Okay, next we got the power wire. Finally got it ordered in. So we're gonna run the power from here, and we're gonna go to the trunk of where the battery is gonna be relocated as soon as I purchase a battery. And your grommet that you wanna get is this one right here. So below that pipe, there's a rubber grommet. You can take this grommet out, get a new one. Sky's the limit. All right, so you just pop that out with a flathead, and we're not gonna interrupt the line that's there, and we're gonna be running some extra stuff through this hole. So we're not gonna actually use the grommet, but we are gonna run this wire through there. So let's get to it. So what we're gonna do first is we're going to cut that grommet off and run the wire in the car. And I'm gonna show you exactly where to run it. I've seen a lot of people run the power wire outside of the car under the frame rail. And let me tell you why that's a bad idea. If you have suspension on here and you drop the car, if you hit the wrong curb, there goes your wiring harness. So to avoid that, I'm gonna show you exactly where to run it. So we run it like that, and you can see it goes right into the firewall. And we have plenty because of 25 feet. So anyway, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in the car, pull the wire all the way through to the trunk area, and then run it to where we need it. Still got some cleanup in here to do. Alrighty. So where we're going to be running it, holy cow, I just realized this. This is not a factory. Okay. Well, moving on. So we are going to run this under this carpet to this area, and we're gonna remove the rear seats. We're gonna run it under the seats and then through the bottom of this and out to the back. Okay, progress. So basically, I connected the power right here. I didn't mount that yet. Got it going through there, of course, but I am sliding it through this area, you know, taking it apart. And yeah, anyone who has a good armrest, hit me up in the comments, because as you can tell, I definitely need one. All right, so anyway, you slide these covers up. So it's here, you slide it up, and then to lock it, you slide it down. So that's that. These are 10 millimeter bolts. Just snap like so. Same deal on the other side, and then after that, it slides right out. Let me move this out of the way. All of the stuff that's falling apart, and I will be back. Okay, I took out that wooden plank. I will wait until I get the real Joan. But basically the wire is tucked, you can't even tell, which is exactly what you want. And let me take this plank off this side too. There we go. So that's how the interior is gonna stay. I'm gonna be getting some more parts installed in this vehicle soon, including the seats, which are right there. But I have to clean this up. That looks gross. So much on the schedule, you have no idea. But in the meantime, I put this grill piece on. I'm missing the little plastics that go here to put on the grill. But I replaced the belt here. I put on the dipstick. And after that, the turbo is installed. I got the pipes. I got to throw in the radiator. Just a lot to do, but we will definitely get there. I'm pretty much going to wrap it up. But, so the power wires ran through. I left a little slack, just in case I want to move anything. So it's through the car. And to the trunk area, we're going to trim this. And I'm going to leave a piece for ground. So I'm going to cut it about like that, because the battery is going to be in the center. So that should be good. And then I'll cut a little piece for ground, and that's it. So, and of course I still have to get the battery. One thing at a time, one thing at a time. I got the cutters on me. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna cut right about here. So hang tight. Okay, we got the ground there, and we got the power over here. The terminals are gonna be the way you're gonna be able to tell the difference between the two. And I'm going to be running ground probably right under here. There's the bolts for the rear bash bar. If it's not too rusted, I'll run it there. If it is, I have a lot of cleaning up to do, because it has to be mated on a clean surface, not a rusty surface, not a painted surface. So we'll get into that a tidbit later, but yeah, we're coming close to the end.